sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
The Rays and Yankees have split the first two games of the Trop, with Tampa Bay taking game one behind the bat of Jake Bowers and a heads-up play from Willie Adames. In game two, Yankees right-hander Masahiro Tanaka was the story, tossing a complete game shutout. Today, Kevin Cash and the Rays look for a series victory. This afternoon at Tropicana Field, the Rays and the Yankees will wrap up this three-game series, even at a game apiece after a 7-6 win in game one. The Rays shut out 4-0 last night. So these two teams will square off this afternoon to wrap up this homestand for the Rays. With Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, great to have you aboard. We'll hear from Michelle Margot throughout the afternoon as well. Well, with just a week left to the non-waiver trading deadline, Nathan Eovaldi was scheduled to pitch today for the Rays. That's not going to happen. The Rays have already pulled off a deal.
Yeah, Nathan Eovaldi gets traded this morning to the Boston Red Sox of all teams. So we're going to see Nathan Eovaldi going forward. Only saw him for 10 starts, but you had to really like what you saw from him. He worked quickly, throws hard, good cutter. Whatever would work that particular night, that's what he would go with. A lot of good starts there for the Rays. And in exchange, they're going to get left-hander Jalen Beeks. He's a shorter left-handed pitcher, big strikeout numbers in the minor leagues. He's got a little over 6 innings of experience with the Boston Red Sox, but he's a guy that you figure is going to fit into those bullpen days. We'll see how the Rays are going to use him. And you see Eovaldi's numbers, but overall, over 100 strikeouts in 80-some innings in the minor leagues, and so it'll be interesting to see how this works out.
So Ryan Stanek will get the call to open this game for the Rays. He'll be opposed by the right-hander Luis Cessa. He's worked in 6 games for the Yankees this year, over a couple of stints with them, with a record of 1-1. Well, the Rays made a deal today. We heard before we left the air last night that the Yankees had added a big arm to that deep bullpen. Yes, indeed they have, with the Baltimore Orioles. We'll have more on that when we come back. Michelle Margot will break down the latest addition to the Yankee bullpen.
Rays here at Tropicana Field. Well, as if the Yankees bullpen was not challenging enough to face for opposing teams, the Rays may have an even more tough pen to face in the future. Yesterday, the Yankees added a new but familiar face. Here's your Toyota inside look. The Yankees acquired Zach Britton, left-handed pitcher from the Baltimore Orioles, in exchange for 3 prospects: Dylan Tate, Cody Carroll, and Josh Rogers. Obviously all pitchers there. And lucky for the Rays, Britton will not join the Yankees until tomorrow. Here's New York manager Aaron Boone.
Hopefully there's some flexibility there to where we can use him in a number of different roles. I think getting another guy of his caliber, the one thing we like about it, especially in the regular season, is allows us to protect our high leverage guys, because we can give a guy a day when we want to stay away from him, and Britton adds to that mix. I see him in a variety of different roles in the back end of our pen, and but just most excited that we can get pretty smart with our matchups.
Well, Ryan Stanek opening up this one with short notice. The rubber match between the New York Yankees and your Tampa Bay Rays coming up shortly. Luis Cessa on the bump for the Yankees in Game 3. Day baseball from Tropicana Field up next.
Ryan Stanek heads to the mound to open this one for the Rays. They square off against the New York Yankees. 1-1 in the current series, 5-6 in the season series. And here's a look at the starting lineup for New York, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Brett Gardner is going to be in the leadoff spot, followed by that young man right there, Aaron Judge. Didi Gregorius hits third. Giancarlo Stanton is in left. Gleyber Torres back in the lineup off the DL. He'll be at second. Greg Bird at first base, hitting sixth in front of Miguel Andujar. Neil Walker is the DH. And the catcher will be Kyle Higashioka.
Well, and Ryan Stanek has done a really nice job for Kevin Cash and the Rays in that opener's role. And you see 13 times he's done that, covers 19 2/3 innings, 1.37 earned run average, just 3 total earned runs given up. 2 of those actually came in one outing. Great strikeout numbers, and the opponent's average 145. What can you say about that? Let's take a look at the defense and see how it's going to line up behind him here this afternoon. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Joey Wendell, Kevin Kiermaier, and Carlos Gomez. Across that infield, third to first, Matt Duffy, Willie Adames, Daniel Robertson, and Jake Bowers, with Adam Moore behind the plate.
Stanek all set to go to work. Gardner in the box. And the first pitch of this afternoon's matchup lifted down the left field line with some distance, but it slices foul and out of play. And a Souvenir with the first pitch of the game.
You're so hopeful. You come to a game, bring the glove. First pitch of the game.
And then you give it away. How about that? What a great gesture. Making that young man very happy.
I'm saying by the 7th he's asking for it back.
Fly ball, center field. Kiermaier's there and makes the catch. And Gardner is out, number 1. We'll get back to you. We'll keep an eye on that.
Keep a camera down there.
Reports later in the day. Here's Aaron Judge. Judge had a first inning single last night, 1 for 4. After an 0 for 3 night, the opening game of this series. And it was in that series that Stanek worked an inning. Hard throwing right-hander. He has taken to this opener's role. And a strike call, 1-1.
Well, you think about it, he's able to go out there and just cut it loose for an inning or two. You know, most of the time you're facing a normal starting pitcher that's out there trying to get into the flow of the game, get established with a rhythm. There's a little bit of, at times, pacing that goes on with the starter as he settles into a game, but not Ryan Stanek. He comes out like a closer and just airing it out, and he has had a ton of success in this role.
Grounded foul. So Gardner out on a fly ball to center, a 1-2 count on Judge. Aaron Boone has his club in at 64 and 35, running second, 5 games behind the Boston Red Sox in the American League East. This one is down. Yankees have been pretty steady, looking to make a move. And as we were chatting before the game, BA, they go home after this with a chance, when you look at the schedule, to maybe make up some ground.
Oh, they go home for, I think it's 10 ball games, and you've got 4 of them against the Royals. You've got, let's see, 2 of them. Well, I know they got the Rangers.
Yep.
And 2 against Baltimore. So
yep.
they get the last place team in each of the 3 divisions. And that's where you try to make your move. Those are the games that you've got to take care of and beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And they get them at home.
Ground ball shot back over the mound, and that caught Stanek. Stanek limping out there in front of the mound. That's going to be a hit. Robertson got back there to make the pickup, and the Rays will take a look at Stanek.
You know, ground or not, Dwayne, off the barrel of Aaron Judge's bat, this ball is going to have some fur on it. And you know, this didn't feel good. Right off the backside, at least. It didn't catch him square. A glancing blow. Off the hamstring.
So that'll go as a base hit for Judge. Yeah, you're always concerned, regardless of where a pitcher gets hit with a batted ball. You're always concerned about what happens if that area tightens up.
That's it. And I would be more concerned with a hamstring tightening up on the mound than, let's say, a calf. Gets him in the back of the calf.
Here's Gregorius. And now he fouls this one off his foot. Moore quick to jump on it, but the ball was fouled off Gregorius. 1 strike to count. This game's dangerous already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, you get up around that calf. Here's Gregorius. For a pitcher to take any kind of shot up around there, you're talking about stretching.
Yeah.
And then the body trying to contract.
Whether it's your drive leg or your stride leg. You think about the stride leg having to get out there, and then you're working over the top of that. Your drive leg, you're kind of, a guy like Stanek, the drop and drive, not a big drop, but he's definitely, you're pushing off all those muscles firing, and that is what you're worried about, is it tightening up. I don't think it'd be an issue right now while he's active. It'll be in between innings. It'll be interesting to see if he goes back out for a second. Let's get out of this one first.
It'll look low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Because while it was a glancing blow, you could still hear a distinctive smack as it caught that leg. So he's going to have evidence of that.
The ball up and away at 97. 2-2. Up the right side, pulled down the line and foul, out of play. Good distance there, but fortunately for the Rays, a foul ball and a souvenir. A lot of youngsters here, and they're going to make some noise. They're well equipped to do that.
They got the thunder sticks.
Yes, they do.
Don't have enough hands for a baseball.
It's fouled away. Ryan Stanek starting in the place of Nathan Eovaldi, who's been dealt to the Red Sox. Be an interesting week here because a lot of Rays have been mentioned in potential deals. So we bid adieu to Nathan Eovaldi. Swing and a miss. Fastball up at 98, and Gregorius is out of there.
Well, here in the early going, Stanek with an awful lot of off speed, but the last 2, the fastball, that looked like a 2-seamer. Hadn't run, not a lot of sink to it, and you don't expect him to get that, but you get that arm side run. That's a nice little added weapon because you think about his 4-seam power fastball, then get one with some run, the slider, the split.
Well, he probably watched Chirinos last night. Boy, you talk about run all over the place. That's what he gets. Stanton fouling one back. Strike 1. Giancarlo Stanton. Turned out to be a losing decision for Chirinos, but the Rays have to be very happy with what they saw from him last night. 6 2/3.
Yep, 6 2/3. Getting deeper into the game. Just 1 walk, 3 earned runs. The problem last night was Masahiro Tanaka. He was just too good.
Upstairs, boy, Tanaka with late movement on his pitches. That's the thing about it. He throws 90, 91. Old variety of pitches, but late movement.
Yeah. And last night, the slider, the split in particular, really didn't go to the fastball all that often.
That's headed up the left field line. Foul.
I will say this, though. The interesting thing about Tanaka, it's a complete game, just over 100 pitches. His hardest fastball of the night was the last pitch of the ball game. He got in on that Duffy at 93.
Yep.
Only time he touched that number, and it was in. And
pretty dominant line right there.
Ground balls. What was it? 16 ground balls, 9 strikeouts, and 2 in the air.
I think 2.
Can't do any better than that.
Two count to Giancarlo Stanton. Foul the other way, a fastball, a little extra at that, 99, and a foul out of play.
Well, you got a guy at the plate that comes with a pretty good reputation, and on top of that, he's been swinging the bat very, very well over the last month. A little extra juice on that heater.
And he gets him. A cut and a miss. Got him with the slider, couple strikeouts. A man left, no runs. And when we go to the bottom of the first, Kevin Kiermaier will lead it off for the Rays. Take a quick look at the starting lineup for the Rays, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Kiermaier, Duffy, and Bowers, the top 3. C.J. Cron hits clean up the DH, followed by Wendell and Robertson, Gomez, Adames, and Moore. Rounding out the lineup for Kevin Cash. Pitch and a ground ball to first. It's played by Bird unassisted. So one pitch from Luis Cessa, 1 out.
Well, Luis Cessa is making his 3rd start of the season. Been an interesting year for him. Went on the disabled list with an oblique back in the middle of April. Has spent some time in the minor leagues. You see with the Yankees, he's come out of the bullpen. He's had a couple of starts. His last start, that came back on July the 9th against the Orioles in Baltimore. Went 6 shutout innings in picking up his only win.
Pitch is wide to Duffy, 1-0. Cessa, 6 years old, out of Mexico, and 3 decisions last year with the Yankees. 0-3. 2 years ago it was 4-4 with this team. One originally signed as an amateur free agent by the New York Mets. He's ahead of Duffy, 1-2.
Well, Fastball, slider, and changeup. He keeps it pretty simple. A lot of sliders to right-handed hitters. Does have a good fastball that he can get up into the mid-90s.
This one is down. Yeah, he's another one of these guys against righties. More sliders than fastball.
Yeah, significant.
Yep.
And like I said, we're not talking about a guy throwing 88, 89. I mean, he's a 93, 95 guy.
Ground ball headed toward the middle. A backhand and a pickup. Torres makes the play. How about that? That one right over the mound, and Torres comes up with that one, showing some nice hands on the pickup.
Dwayne, he juggled it. He juggled it on the run to pick up the out. Our Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game. Ball's up. The hand-eye coordination as that ball comes off the glove hand right here. Now just go ahead, keep your concentration, barehanded, and throw in one motion.
You know, to get any kind of grip on that throw and get it over there accurately is the ending challenge of that play.
Yeah, because I don't think you're spending a whole lot of time practicing a play like that. Just instincts and athleticism.
This one is down. Yeah, those are the kinds of plays that you would practice when you were a kid with another kid on the block or whatever. Throw me one over here and see if I can get to that.
And then as you juggle and bobble it, you're right. You're talking yourself into the greatest play of all time.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It pays off 15 years later.
It's wide. Bauer's ahead in the count, 3-0.
Well, welcome back to the big leagues. You know, coming off the disabled list, this team needs him.
Oh boy, what a force he has been for this team. Three and one. Chopper outside the line. Count will be full.
Let's quickly set the Yankee defense for you. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we've got Stanton, Gardner, and Judge. And then across the infield third to first, Andujar, Gregorius, Torres, and Bird. Kyle Higashioka back behind the plate.
And strike three called right there. Bauer's caught looking. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the second. No score. Sports Sun brought to you by WB Mason. Who but W.B. Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. By Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. On the mound for the Rays, the hard-throwing right-hander Jamie Schultz will take over. Stanek worked 1 inning. And now another guy who can get the ball up there in a hurry and then some. Torres to lead it off. Cut and a miss. Strike 1. 22 pitch first inning for Stanek. Picked up a hit, picked up a couple strikeouts, and now Schultz. One.
A good power fastball. The key for Schultz will be to be consistently in the zone or just off the edges. We say this about an awful lot of young relievers. When they are able to command their pitches and be in the strike zone, success comes their way. When they get themselves into trouble, it's when they get themselves into trouble. Balls out of the zone, walks.
The slider, it's high. 1. And that will put the base runner aboard. Leadoff man on.
Well, this is exactly what we're talking about. The unforced error, and that you cannot do against this lineup. There's just too much trouble top to bottom. You've got to limit the self-inflicted wounds. Do your best to try to keep this lineup in the yard. The Rays have done a great job of that over their last 5 games against them and have not allowed anything like that here in the first 2 games of this series.
The fastball down a little bit. 1-0. One of the challenges with Schultz as a result of wild streak every once in a while, he's not going to get many umpires to go with him. You know, if you're around the plate, you might get them into that rhythm. But if you're missing, then the umpire's not inclined to dance with you.
And then combine that with the fact that he is a young rookie. So young and erratic. That's a tough combo.
Yep. I mean, he's got a great arm, and we've seen him when he throws strikes. He can be just overpowering, dominating out there, and shut down a lineup. It's his inability to command all that consistently that has been the challenge. And here's a bunt down the third base side with only 1 man over there, and Bird takes advantage of that. Duffy could just go pick it up, and that's it.
How about that play by Greg Bird? First of all, he knows in a 2-0 count with what's going on here early with Schultz that he's going to get a fastball, and he squares around now. Just get it to the left side, and he did not bump that to try to deaden it. He pushed that thing out there. No play to be made.
If he pushed it any harder, he could have had a double.
Yeah, that's about right.
Miguel Andujar. Outside, 1-0.
Now let's look at a scouting report here on Miguel Andujar. At least 2. How about this? Since the All-Star break, 4 games. He's multi-hit games in all 4 of them. The longest streak by a Yankee this season. And MLB rookie leader. How about this? Andujar here at the bottom of the Yankee lineup leads all major league rookies, National League and American League, in extra base hits with 44 of them.
Yeah, he has a great start with 30 doubles. Thought he had a double early last night. Turned out he didn't, but he came right back in the 9th and picked up a double. His daily double.
That's about right, to go along with his 2 hits every day. And even with all the extra base hits, as you saw his batting line, he's not all about, all or nothing. The average at 292. been able to handle the bat, but has done a great job of driving the baseball gap to gap. A few home runs.
Upstairs. A walk, a bunt single, and now 3-1. Schultz still looking for the first out. Behind in the count. Lifted deep into straightaway center. Kiermaier surrounds it to make the catch. Tag at second. Torres will advance to third. Bird holds at first. And with the first out of the second inning, a move to third, putting men at first and third for New York. And Neil Walker will now be the hitter. Walker hitting .203. A couple hits, a run batted in last night, officially 2 for 3 on the evening. He misses the 95-mile-per-hour fastball. That's about where the fastball will sit with Schultz on average, but he can hit the upper 90s and once in a while tease you around the triple digits. One and one.
Well, he's powerfully built and does a great job of driving the ball with authority towards home plate. And as we've talked about, the key is to find the zone and get that pitch where you need to.
There's one.
Great example, those last 2 pitches. Those 2 pitches aren't necessarily balls. I mean, those get called a lot.
Yep.
Right here's at the bottom corner, but you're not going to get that pitch.
Yep.
And the previous one was the same thing.
And Michalensky, who's behind the plate today, he'll work with you. If you're around the plate consistently, he doesn't mind calling strikes. Fly ball into left. Wendell there sets up to make the catch. Throw's going to be back towards second as Torres tags from third and scores, and the Yankees turn that leadoff walk into a run.
You know, where the other thing, the lack of command, where else it's able to get to you is in your pitch selection. You know, if you're consistently behind guys 2-0, 3-1, it never allows you to get to your secondary pitches. You're just trying to find the zone. You keep pumping fastballs. You make it a lot easier on these hitters. They know what they're going to get.
Carl Higashioka, and he chases one upstairs. Strike one.
Little over anxious right there.
He's ready to try to jump on that first pitch, and it jumped on him a little bit. Higashioka hitting 167. Breaking ball. 1-1. Two strikes. Run home. Bird at first. 2 outs. The pop-up. Adames at short making the catch. 1 run on the leadoff walk. Bottom of the second coming. 1-0 New York.
don't know. I mean, I guess that initial reaction, it's like, you know, because first they're like, you got traded, and I'm like, you know, just because I feel like I've developed, you know, such a relationship with all these guys here, and then, you know, all the opportunities that, you know, the Rays gave me to come back and recover from my surgery. But, you know, then again, when they say it's Boston, you know, I can't help but be excited about that. And, you know, first place in our division, I mean, that says a lot how tough our division is here. And, yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to be going over there and helping that team.
Well, one of the really good guys, and he did, when he talks about feeling comfortable here and appreciating the opportunity to work his way back, recover from Tommy John surgery, I'm sure that's absolutely genuine from Nathan Eovaldi.
You got to believe that this organization is going to have a special place in his heart the rest of his life, really, because this is where you go out and you tell a guy, look, we're going to sign you to a multi-year deal, knowing full well that the first year you're just going to rehab. You're not going to be able to help us on the field. And when a team is willing to go out and do that, I guarantee you that Nathan Eovaldi will always think so highly of his special time here.
High hit pop foul. And Andujar in from third. And Crone is out of there for the first out. Well, the Chevy prospect spotlight now falls upon Jalen Beeks, who comes from the Boston organization and a couple appearances in the big leagues with the Red Sox. And it would appear, just looking at his numbers and some of the scouting reports you get, you know, he's going to fit right in with what the Rays are trying to do with their way of building a staff.
You think about, yeah, I mean, he's going to get an opportunity probably to start. He could be a middle inning, you know, a guy that comes in after an opener and gives you 3, 4, 5 innings. There's a lot of different ways that he could fit in. You know, they talk about his fastball command, his willingness to pitch inside, developing a cutter, 4-pitch guy. Not the biggest of guys, but boy, those numbers sure play pretty big when you've got 30 more strikeouts than innings pitched.
Well, he is out of the University of Arkansas, was a teammate of Benintendi over there. And of course, the opener today, Ryan Stanek, went to Arkansas, so they'll immediately have something in common as the left-hander Beeks comes to the Rays organization.
What if he's related to Clarence?
2 now.
You don't
I'll let you ask him.
Well, I will. I would love to know that. Clarence Beeks, one of my favorites. Just let it marinate.
And a base hit lined into center for Wendell. He'll make the turn and hold right there, and the Rays get their first hit. Joey Wendell aboard. Wendell just named the Rays winner of the Heart and Hustle Award. And a base hit right here.
He stayed right down and through that baseball. Joey Wendell showing that ability to have some pretty good bat control, especially here recently. He's been swinging the bat very, very well, showing some power too.
Daniel Robertson. Pitch is too low. He's facing the right-hander Luis Sessa.
Yeah, Clarence Beeks was kind of like an undercover hired private investigator from Trading Places.
Gotcha. I can see why he would be one of your favorites.
Very memorable character.
Yep.
If you can remember the movie and remember Clarence Beeks.
Well, do you think Jalen Beeks would admit it if he were?
He was that good. Yes, I do.
2 balls and a strike.
Although that's a different era. Jalen is probably like, who are you talking about?
Yep.
Next.
But when you look and what we've had the benefit just of looking at Beeks' numbers and some info on his career, but you could see where he would fit the overall plan that the Rays have put into play here.
I mean, as the word came down of the trade and we started looking at some different things, and you said, you know what this sounds like and this looks like, and it's right on the money.
Oh, look out. That goes flying into the camera well there.
I think his camera lens saved him.
Wow. Take a deep breath there.
Yeah.
See, he got part of his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Now. You see that protective netting behind it, but that camera well, you can't have that netting in front of it. Everything appears to be okay. Ground ball, that's going to go through. Base hit into left. Advancing Wendell to second. And the Rays come back with a couple hits. 2 men on with 1 out in the second.
I'm sure that off the bat, Sessa thought, hey, this is it. Ground ball double play to get out of the inning. Here's a slider. And Daniel Robertson able to hit it hard enough. Gregorius pulled up the middle just a little bit, not able to get to it.
Carlos Gomez preparing to step in. Cutting a miss on the fastball. That one up to 95. On strike the count. Foul ball puts Gomez behind. 4 balls, 2 strikes. Rays with a chance here to get on the board. The Yankees scored a run in the top of the inning, converting a leadoff walk into a run. Gomez fouls it. A little bit of that one to stay alive. Fly, shallow center. That ball's going to be caught. Gardner ran a straight line coming in to get there to make the catch, and Gomez is the second out. We're up to Willy Adames if the Rays are to make this threat more than just that. Ball upstairs. Adames hitting .204 with 3 home runs. Oh, play at second. Ball rolling away, but grabbed by the first baseman Bird.
What did that hit? Maybe Joey Wendell. Well, that ball caromed rather quickly towards second base. Let's see, did it get? Oh, it just got boxed. Went off the glove of Torres.
Drifted into right. right for Judge. The Rays threaten with a couple hits, but do not score. 2 left. 1-0 New York. Auto Group continues next Tuesday. The Rays take on the Angels. You can pick up $2 tickets for kids 14 and under with the purchase of a full price adult ticket. And all fans can get $2 hot dogs presented by KM Franks. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit raysbaseball.com/specials. Top of the order, Brett Gardner to lead off. Jamie Schultz on the mound. Schultz walked Torres to open the second, and that was converted into a run. Gardner takes a fastball for strike 1. Judge next, then Gregorius. Nothing in 2. Scored a couple runs in the game Monday, won by the Rays 7-6. Scored the first run of the game last night and is out on 3 pitches. A foul tip strikeout off the high fastball at 96.
All 3 of them right up there at the top of the zone. 96.
Boy, that's right there. Just a challenge out over the plate and up.
I think that's one of those you're trying to shoot that ball into left field and you just don't get up there in time.
Judge takes the ball.
Pretty impressive at bat too, because Brett Gardner, one of those hitters that will battle, fight, foul off pitches, force you to work when he falls down in the count, but not there.
Strike at the bottom of the zone. He's gone to the top and the bottom. Didn't get the call on the first one, so it's 1-1 here on Judge. There's a fastball up and a foul ball. 1-2. Judge had the base hit off Stanek in the first. And a wave and a miss. Well, the breaking ball there got him. A lot of hard stuff, and then here's a breaking pitch.
Well, it starts with the location of this pitch. He put it in a great spot, took a lot off of it. here, that's a curveball. It looked like there was a change of speed and a little bit more depth, and he surprises him right there with the hook.
Breaking ball that didn't break a lot. Stayed up and away.
Occasionally you'll get that. You know, you're going to throw that pitch right out of the tips of your fingers. You saw a great shot of it on the previous one. And that allows him to really create the deceptive spin, that as tight as you can get it. You get the later break, you get the more depth.
Fastball taken, strike one.
The thing is, you can't make the ball spin like that if it's tucked deep into your hand. It's got to be out there in the fingertips, and occasionally you're going to lose one.
2-2, so a couple of fastballs here follow up, and the count is even.
And guess what? Better job of finding the zone. When he finds the zone, it opens. You know, it opens his game up. You can see more of the breaking ball. The hitter sees more breaking balls. Now he's not as comfortable.
And strike three called. Got him looking on a fastball and strikes out the side. Bottom of the third coming, 1-0 New York.
Field. Well, Rays general manager Eric Neander just spoke with the media just right now about the return piece that the Rays got in return for Nathan Eovaldi in that trade earlier today. Left-handed pitcher Jalen Beeks. He said they've actually kept close tabs on him for a couple of years. He has a deep repertoire, and we can expect to see him unofficially with the big club in Baltimore. So that came as a bit of a surprise. And as for Eovaldi, I know the guys in the clubhouse will miss him, but one thing he was known for was actually his wife Becca, who kept the players' stomachs full with desserts, and she had brought some cake balls in, and when he was talking to the media before he left, he said, remind me, I gotta take the trays for her before I leave. But in all seriousness, he really is going to be missed, guys. The organization is very optimistic for what they're getting in return.
Well, you're right about that on a couple of fronts. He will be missed. He's a really good guy. He's from Alvin, Texas. How bad a guy could he be, you know? And good family, so he'll be missed here. And we will get a chance to see this young left-hander apparently as soon as we get to Baltimore.
Yeah, a chance for a win-win trade situation. You know, help out Boston down the stretch. They're going to have their hands full with the Yankees. The move they made last night, picking up Zach Britton and adding him to that bullpen. The bullpen, by the way, that was already the best in the game.
Yeah, I mean, how deep can a bullpen be?
You know, think about it. You know, Jonathan Holder has really stepped up this year for Aaron Boone. So you think about, you go from Adam Warren who's another guy that can do a lot of different things, very versatile, and has had a nice run with the Yankees. But Warren, then you go Holder, you've got Chad Green, you've got David Robertson, you've got Betances, you've got Britton, you've got Chapman. I mean, really, you could get into a situation where you ask your starter to give me 3+, and I could close it down from there. That's absurd.
Well, Betances was already quoted as saying, hey, we got enough guys to have a bullpen start day. Oh, now they're getting with the program. Look at that.
Wonder where they came up with that idea.
Yeah. Now Zach Britton will be added to that group. Kiermaier strikes out. Moore had grounded to short. Now a strikeout of Kiermaier. 2 up, 2 down. The third. Well, see Mike Harkey there on the right, down there running the bullpen, and you see where their starters rank 12th in the majors, and their tops in the bullpen in ERA.
Take your strength and I guess make it that much stronger.
He lays off a pitch down. Upstairs. 2-0. Tapper left side, and Duhar makes the throw to first, and it's a 1-2-3 third. We go to inning 4, 1-0 New York. To you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Eldorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years. And by your local Ford dealers. 1-0 New York leading. We go to the 4th inning with Giancarlo Stanton about to lead off. This pitch is a strike. Stanton getting his first look at Jamie Schultz. Stanek opened this game for the Rays. Gave up a hit and picked up a couple strikeouts in the first, including getting Stanton. Stanek struck him out with a slider in the first inning. Now 0-2 here from Schultz. Popped up, foul, not to carry out a play. Wendell will go to the wall for it, and he's going to have room. Makes the catch alongside that 370 marker. And so Stanton, a towering fly ball, but out number 1.
Too high. The breaking ball. Breaking ball hangs a little too high, and Stanton hits it a little too high.
You know, this park, as we've found through the years, not an easy park to consistently hit home runs here. You see that 370 marker. One of the things I've always wondered about a lot of ballparks throughout the years is Torres takes a ball. I'd like to have a tape measure and do my own measuring, because there are some ballparks where you go, that just doesn't look right.
We can do that. We should legitimately do that.
And that 370 marker might actually be a little deeper than 370.
No, it's 370 somewhere along that wall.
Yeah.
Just where? Maybe not where the number is.
Yeah. So there you go. It'd be interesting to see, because from time to time you do have a little discrepancy in a number of ballparks.
Wayne, we had a StatCast home run. We had a home run in New York.
Yep.
That Gary Sanchez hit out over center field fence, right next to the 408 sign. That StatsCast measured at 400.
Yeah.
So
Well,
somebody's wrong.
Yeah. Maybe it's only 400.
Right? Or maybe 399.
Yeah, 399. I'm telling you. You know, Yankee Stadium, that's always been, even the old one, you know, given whichever side you hit from, it would really favor you for home runs. And even the new one with a right-handed hitter who can go to right center, you don't always have to square up the ball to get it out there. The fly ball into center field. Kiermaier is there making the catch on the move, and Torres is the second out. It'd be kind of fun. Maybe those numbers are just suggestions in some cases.
Like a yellow light.
Yeah, they're suggestions.
Yeah. Nothing
yeah.
real definitive.
That's right. Just to let you know you're in the neighborhood. You don't really have to stop.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know what? Here's the deal. This is what we'll do. We will get that done. And if that's the case, we'll just put a little yellow plus and minus next to it.
Okay.
Give or take.
That's a strike.
See, here's the thing. We would love it. I think the fans would love it. There may be some groups of people that don't love us doing that very much.
That's a strike.
And that could go either way.
You mean we could get into trouble?
Maybe just a little.
Not us. We've never been in trouble.
Not today.
And a cut and a miss. He got Bird to chase. That high fastball that time at 96. Bottom of the fourth coming, 1-0 New York. And Joey Wendell due up. Bowers, how about this? 15 doubles already for Jake Bowers. Since June the 9th, only Javier Baez has more, 16. A little piece of that, a foul ball for a strike.
Diego Castillo starts to get ready down in the bullpen. You figure he's obviously got to be next, but
there's a strike. Remember those days in the bullpen when you just have a leisurely summer afternoon out there? Not now. I mean, you're going to be involved.
everybody is on call, and you know, if you understand that going in, you're fine with it, and you probably, these guys are aware of where Kevin Cash, Kyle said, where they would want them, what part of the lineup. You know, a guy like Ryan Yarbrough, he knows he's going to go through the lineup more than once, but usually when he comes into a ball game.
Tap right side. Bowers is out at first. It's the overloaded right side of the infield.
We talk an awful lot about the Rays, you know, pitching plan with the openers and the bullpen days and the buy-in. And the buy-in, of course, is a huge deal. But the communication between Kyle Snyder and his pitchers. What you listen, we may be looking to get this out of you. These guys probably have a game plan each and every day they go out there.
Well, it keeps the coaching staff busy and the bullpen busy. C.J. Cron takes the pitch upstairs. Bowers grounding out to Torres. Kyle Snyder alongside Jamie Schultz right now. It's 1-1. Two ball, one strike count. Did he go? Yes, he did, says plate umpire Mike Muzlinski. 2-2.
Now that hard breaking ball, and yes, a little bit too far on the swing.
It's up and the count is full. This is the second three-ball count Sessa has had. He went 3-2 to Bowers, got him looking in the first. Now 3-2 to Cron in the fourth. And a liner gonna be caught out there at second base. Torres behind the bag. And shallow center made that little leap to catch it.
But he was positioned perfectly. That ball off the bat, especially with the trajectory, that line drive, you're thinking that's going to be a base hit into center and right into the waiting glove of Torres.
Strike to Wendell. Foul ball runs it to 0-2. Wendell had a base hit in the second. Rays picked up back-to-back hits. Wendell and Robertson in that inning. They're the only base runners so far. Came into the game hitting .278. That base hit has moved his average up to .281 right now. And he is out on strikes. The breaker right there gets him. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays, and we go to the 5th. 1-0 New York. Today, American military personnel serving overseas are watching this game on AFN, the American Forces Network. Welcome to those in countries around the world and aboard naval ships at sea, and we thank you for your service. Can't thank you enough. The game heads into the 5th inning here. And a new pitcher for the Rays, Diego Castillo, standing for an inning. Schultz for 3, and now Castillo.
Well, here we go, trying to piece this together all the way to the end, hoping that the Rays bats wake up. And Castillo on for the 21st time, much like Schultz. It's about commanding his pitches. A lot of velocity, a lot of movement from Castillo.
First pitch 95 in off the plate. 1-0.
You know, Schultz had the hiccup, the back-to-back walks, which cost a run. But after that, he got himself under control. We saw the breaking ball come into play and threw the ball very, very well.
Missed there, and it's 2-0. Castillo Monday gave up a base hit. Was charged with a couple runs in that outing. Fouled out of play, 2-1. 2/3 of an inning. A couple of walks and a hit with 2 runs in what turned out to be a 7-6 Rays win. Down to third, comes up on Duffy, who makes the play. Nicely done over there at third to get Andujar. 1 away.
This ball gets on him in a hurry. Protect yourself, get the glove up there, the hand over top, make sure it stays in. Strong throw.
Nice job down there. Here's Neil Walker, who drove in the only run of this game with a fly ball to left in the 2nd inning. Walker drove in a run in the 9th inning of last night's game with a base hit. Scored a run in the first game of the series. A sacrifice fly to pick up the RBI in this game. And the strike, it's 1-1. Two. Disappeared on Walker. Castillo a little over 97 on average velocity on his fastball. He has approached 100. He's gotten over 99 at fastball velocity. Two right now. There's the ground ball, sharply hit. Adames scrambles and tries to get to his feet in time, but can't get it over to Bowers, and Walker is aboard.
Yeah, that ball was well struck by Walker, and once it was able to wiggle free from the glove, Willy Adames going down, that ball right off the edge and then off the hand.
Just rolled a little bit too far away from him.
Yeah, and then you get the base runner coming out of the box from the left side. A lot of things working against Adames right there.
The Yankees have their third hit of the game. Yoshioka up here, the catcher. Strike one. Only 161, but he has 3 home runs. Yoshioka. Runs and 30 at bats this year for the Yankees. 2. It's low and covered up nicely by Moore. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Only run of the game came in the 2nd inning. When the man at first, Walker, Neil Walker, lifted a fly ball to left. Walker reaching on the infield hit here in the 5th. Fly ball. It's Gomez after it over into right center. So 2 away as we go back around to the top of the lineup. Runner at first, 2 outs for Brett Gardner. Third trip to the plate for Gardner, and he's facing the 3rd pitcher of the day. Fly ball off Stanek, struck out against Schultz, and now he faces Castillo. Schultz is inside, 1-0. 2-1 now. Pitch moving in. The left-handed hitter Gardner. Popper left side. Duffy starts after it. He has a lot of room and makes the catch. So no runs, a hit, and the man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th with Daniel Robertson due to lead off the home half of the inning in a 1-0 ball game. Starting this game in 2005 when the Rays beat Boston in walk-off style. It came in the 10th inning, and there's Aubrey Huff with a double off Kurt Schilling to drive in Jorge Cantu all the way from first. The Geico great moment. We go to the bottom of the 5th with Daniel Robertson taking a strike. Robertson with a base hit in the 2nd inning. 2. Well, the Yankees scored a run in the 2nd. Torres opened with a walk, eventually scored on a sacrifice fly. Sessa has pitched well. It's 1-2. You know, here's a situation, and I know you've thought about this for the Yankees, particularly with the addition of Britton to their bullpen. You know, and it's very likely they could be in a situation postseason, regardless of what may happen the rest of the way. But right now, they would be in a position chasing the Red Sox, where they might have to play a wild card game. The liner caught by Torres up the middle. Situation where you're going to have to win one game. Well, with that deep bullpen, would they do that here? Would they go to the bullpen this early?
Theoretically, Dwayne, you could. You could. I mean, think about this. You get 4 innings out of your starter. You could come in, Daniel Robertson, pick up the 5th. Chad Green, get you the 6th. Bring in Zach Britton, the lefty, for the 7th. Go to the righty Betances for the 8th. The lefty Chapman for the 9th.
How about that?
You could easily do that with way above average, top-notch relievers.
Gomez pops up, and it's caught by Bird. So a couple of quick outs here in the 5th inning.
I mean, that's
you could make a case for that.
You could. You absolutely could. I mean, there are just so many top options, and it's interesting because you saw the Yankees, and not that, listen, the trade deadline's not over. They could do a lot of things before then, but you know, the Yankees tied to starting pitchers, and then there's this talk where there's no real elite starting pitcher available, and so do you marginally upgrade your starting rotation, or do you take your strength, the very, very strong, best in the game bullpen, and make that even stronger? And so the first salvo by the Yankees is to do that with the bullpen. Still could do something with the starting staff. We'll wait to see. But it's pretty incredible what that bullpen's capable of now.
Yeah, we got a week to go for the non-waiver trading deadline. 2 strikes here on Adames, but they pulled the trigger, adding Zach Britton. Would that be something, though?
You know,
would that not be something?
Could you imagine the parade of
Judge in right field going to make the catch. Going to be a quick 5th inning. Well, Sensa here, 1-2-3 against the Rays, and scoreless through the front 5 in a 1-0 game, New York. Yankees got that run. Leadoff walk to Gleyber Torres. He was at third with 1 out when Neil Walker lifted a fly ball to left. Luis Sessa has done the rest. Well, what a job he's done. No walks, 3 strikeouts, couple of hits. That's it through 5.
Yeah, we talked about his last outing with the Yankees. His last start was back on July the 9th, 6 shutout against the Orioles. But tonight it's been the fastball and the slider. He has leaned on those 2 pitches heavily, and he has been very, very good through the 5th inning.
Well, in the 5th, Castillo gave up an infield hit. That was it. Left a man on. Stanek worked an inning. Schultz 3, gave up a run, and Castillo with 1 inning of work so far. Aaron Judge to begin the 6th. Rolls it to third, scooped by Duffy, and the throw to first in time. And Judge is out number 1, 1 pitch, 1 out. D. Gregorius. Well, in this season series, the Yankees won the first 5. The Rays won the next 5, and the Yankees won last night 4-0. Gregorius twice has struck out. He's facing his 3rd pitcher. Did not go on the appeal. Tim Timmons. 2-0. A run, 3 hits, no errors for New York. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Rays. Liner into center. That will stay up, or will it? Kiermaier gets there to make the catch. Ball started to dive on him as he approached it, and he was there to make the grab. A little slide by Kiermaier to finish off that catch.
Well, you got to make a quick decision. You got to go for it or no. And here comes Kiermaier all the way in, making a beeline. Did a great job of a direct route to the baseball, and then get off and slide to the side. A little easier to handle than straight on.
Appreciated by his pitcher, Castillo. Stanton is down. Stanton is struck out, hit a fly ball into left. The 4th inning, and it was caught by Wendell by the 370 marker out there. Bounces it foul. 1-1. There's a chop to third. Tough hop. Deflects to Adames, but no chance to make a play on Stanton. Ball. A tough play for Duffy down at third. With that tough hop, Stanton is aboard. That'll be a base hit. Single for Stanton.
What did you see Matt Duffy trying to make that decision? Do I charge it? Now he tries to retreat and give himself a higher hop, and it just got into the belt line. Those are the toughest ones. You got to make that decision rather quickly, whether you're going to charge it and try to get it before it bounces that second time, or play it back. Got caught in between.
Gleyber Torres. Pitch down and away, and no swing, and attempt to get maybe a strike out of that on the appeal down to first. Nothing doing. I don't know. That's a chop to third. That's a foul ball reaching across. Timmons on the call at third. 1-1. Two gone, then the infield hit for Stanton. Hunter takes off, pitches down, and the throw not in time. 4th stolen base for Stanton this year, and has many attempts.
Well, he picked the right pitch to go on too. Got one down in the dirt, tougher to handle. Pretty good jump. Well, you see how Moore has to scoop it and come up throwing. Just no chance.
Yankees with their first stolen base of the series here. Reach on that pitch, running away from Torres. 2-2. Now it'll be full. Deck is Greg Bird. Out of play. We'll do it again on 3-2. And a swing and a miss. He's out of there, and that's going to retire the side. So Torres strikes out. First strikeout for Castillo, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 New York. By your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by your local Honda dealer. First pitch here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lined into left, and there's a base hit for Adam Moore. Moore picking up his first hit in a Rays uniform. And the Rays, for the first time in this game, have the leadoff man aboard in an inning.
Yeah, and how good for them. You just come out of the 9-hole. Adam Moore takes advantage of mislocation by Sessa, rips his ball into left field, and now you get the top of the order here with Kiermaier to the plate, looking at Sessa for the 3rd time now.
It's Kiermaier. He bunts, third base side. It's going to go foul. Well, the Rays had the one opportunity back in the 2nd inning with 1 out. Wendell singled, Robertson singled, and then Gomez hit a fly ball to center and Adames to right to end the threat, and that's been it. The only other time the Rays have even had a base runner. The top of the order, a strike on Kiermaier. Wide, 1-1. Jonathan Holder up in the bullpen for New York, up the left field side. There he is. That is wide. 2-1. Next pitch will be number 70 on the day for Sessa. Nice job. Boy, the Rays have gone 5 innings without a run in this one. That's 16 consecutive innings without a run for the Rays. Shutout last night in the last couple innings the night before. Runner takes off for a drive. High and deep to right. That baby's gone. Home run for Kiermaier. With Moore on the move at first, Kiermaier belts his 3rd home run of the year, and the Rays take a 2-1 lead. Kiermaier picking up his second hit of the series, and it's a big one here in the 6th inning. There's Duffy fouling it back. Well, they're finally on the board.
You could see you put more in motion to create something. Sessa, we've not seen too many changeups today, and he misses location once again. Missed a fastball to Moore, a changeup to Kiermaier, and that ball exploded out into right field. You knew that one once it left.
Stairs, it's 2-1. Alvarado up in the bullpen. Fly ball to right. Judge under this one makes the catch. Out number 1 here in this inning. Kiermaier hitting the home run. Number 3. StatCast powered by AWS. Here are the particulars on that home run. And with 1 out, 2 runs in, that's going to be it for Sessa. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Four hits, 2 runs on the Kiermaier home run. He struck out 3, didn't walk anybody, and made 74 pitches. The new Monopoly jackpot scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. A new spin on a classic. They're loaded with prizes from $10,000 to $2 million. So unleash the excitement anytime. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it.
Well, Luis Sessa all afternoon had done such a great job. It was the fastball, it was the slider, bringing up some strikeouts, good velocity on that pitch, good break on the slide ball. Right there, a mistake to Moore with a fastball. He's aboard when that changeup catches too much play, and just that quickly. Again, all afternoon in control, and within 2 hitters, all of a sudden he finds himself and his team down a run.
Jonathan Holder in from the Yankee bullpen. Bowers takes a strike. 36th appearance for Holder. It's 0-2. Bowers, after that pitch up, is out on strikes.
What a great job of changing the eye level of Bowers. That fastball up and in. You can see right there the way Higashioka was setting up for it. They wanted that pitch up in the zone.
Two outs in the 6th. There's C.J. Cron. down. The home run by Kiermaier giving the Rays the lead. First home run since the 11th of July when he hit one against the Tigers off Zimmerman. The strike is 1-1. His other home run came back at the end of June off Gio Gonzalez. The pitch exploded off his bat to right field today. 2 balls and a strike. Two. Cron had 2 of the 3 Rays hits last night. He collected a single and a double off Tanaka. That's about it. Sucre had a base hit. Troy drew a walk, and that was the extent of the Rays offense against Tanaka last night. Inside for ball 3. 3-2. Shot foul with the bullpen. Look out, fellas. Ball sharply hit down there.
Yeah, usually the Rays down the lines with their ball boys. Good glove men. The early start getting to him a little bit.
He's ready for the next one. There's a high shot off the bat of Cron, carried deep into left center field. That ball is out of here. C.J. Cron hitting his 20th home run of the year, and he picked the deep part of the park to do it. Couple of home runs for the Rays in the 6th. It's 3-1.
And got a favorable deflection. Wait till you see this. That little nook out there, Dwayne, where the fence gets a little, got some angles to it. This pitch, you know, just middle in, he's able to get into it. Now wait till you see the finish. Right over the edge.
Yeah, that ball off the top of the fence and over. 20 home runs for Cron. It's got a little angle where it goes back in to that triangle representing the deep part of the field here.
It hopped the triangle, so it's gonna hit right in here and hop over the triangle and end up over that way. Well placed.
There's a soft liner into right. It's going to fall for a base hit.
Well, I thought that ball, there could have been a play on that. I don't know if Judge just didn't want to risk it, already down 2 runs. So that ball kind of floated out there. Thought off the bat he'd be able to make a play.
Now I wonder if that ball knuckled on him a little bit out there, but he approached it very cautiously.
Yeah, he didn't even go after it. That ball was that was one off the bat that he just let go. Watch him. Really doesn't make a move at all. Kind of let that thing fall in there.
Second hit for Wendell today. To first. Moore opened with a single. Kiermaier homered to right and out later. Boulder came in, struck out Bowers. Cron has hit the home run, hit it out of the Tropicana triangle. Got a nice bounce over the top of the wall. Wendell has followed with a base hit.
But that's one of those shots too that off the bat, the trajectory, it looks like it's going to be a base hit, and you just kind of concede that, not realizing it wasn't hit that hard and was kind of floating. Those are tough reads on these outfielders.
Strike to Robertson.
But the Rays offense finally comes alive. They got a little bit of breathing room here.
Home runs in the inning. The Rays have 95 on the year. Inside, it's 1-1. Second home run Holder has given up this year. This is his 36th appearance. Pitch out, but nothing doing there. 2-1. Now the runner breaks and the pitch is popped up. Left side. Gregorius is there to make the catch. And the Rays are out in the 6th. But a productive inning it was. Home run, a 2-run shot by Kiermaier to grab a 2-1 lead. And Crone hits one out to center to make it 3-1. On to the 7th. Have utilized 3 pitchers so far today, and here's the breakout.
Well, listen, they've done a nice job. Ryan Stanley got it started off, of course, as the opener. A couple of strikeouts in that first inning. Jamie Schultz struggled with his command for the first couple of hitters, a couple of walks. That was the only offense, really, the Yankees were able to get. A couple of fly balls would get a run home, but then he would tighten up the ship. 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. Diego Castillo, 2 clean innings with the 1 strikeout. And now you're going to go to Jose Alvarado as Kevin Cash tries to piece it together, as with the Rays leading now. 44th appearance, 43 strikeouts, 40 2/3.
Alvarado was on the mound Monday night when that game ended. 7-6 victory. Andriese got the win, and Alvarado picked up his 4th save in that game, facing Greg Bird to open the 7th. Which is a strike. Now in the 7th inning, the 2-run lead for the Rays. They've out-hit the Yankees by 2, 6-4, leading 3-1. 0-2 to Bird.
Quite a tough matchup left on left, especially you go 97 away, 98 down and in. Alvarado power lefty. That's where Kevin Cash is going to play the matchup game.
Ball, 2 strikes. Robertson on the left side of your screen, Cole on the right side. And Duhar will follow Bird. Alvarado's gone to 2-2 on Bird. Broken bat, right side. Robertson with a pickup from short right out of the shift. Bird is out number 1 in the 7th inning. Well, you grab a lead as the Rays did in the bottom of the 6th, and you so want to get that leadoff man the very next inning.
Especially with this team and the fact that they are, you know, the number 1 team in Major League Baseball and hitting home runs. They need base runners. And so you get the leadoff runner and then you go to work from there. But you're right, how often? Well, you saw it with the Rays. Leadoff base hit by Moore, and all of a sudden they've got a lead a minute later.
Miguel Andujar. Slow. Andujar 0 for 2 at a fly ball to center and is grounded to third. Line drive over the head of Adames. Kiermaier with the pickup. And Duhar is aboard. Hit number 5 for New York.
Two-seamer. Good plate coverage here by Andujar. Just lines it out over the head of Adames. There's a base runner.
Aaron Hicks will pinch hit for Walker. Walker driven in a run with a fly ball back in the 2nd, and now Hicks will hit with a man at first and 1 out. Hicks played center field in the first game of the series Monday night. Takes a fastball for a strike. Hicks was on a couple times in that game with a walk and reached on an error. And a strike called. 0-2. Hicks faced Alvarado Monday night. Reached on a fielder's choice. Strike 3 called. He got him looking. 3 pitches. Out number 2.
Looking an awful lot in that at bat. Alvarado gets the pinch hitter Hicks and drops that on him.
Well, here's the catcher, Higashioka. 0 for 2. Nice ball away. Off the plate, 1-0. Center field. Kiermaier went back, now comes in, will be there and makes the catch. No runs a hit, one left. 7th inning stretch time. 3-1 Rays. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. The pregame shows presented by your local Honda dealers. A preview of the trade deadline coming up. We're in that final week leading up to the deadline. And Orestes will break down C.J. Cron, who has homered in this game. We go to the bottom of the 7th. J. Cole will make his 17th appearance for the Yankees.
Now that includes a couple of starts, a record of 3-1, ERA of 4.94, more than a strikeout per innings pitched.
Well, the Rays finally making some noise in the bottom of the 6th. 2 runs charged to Sessa, 1 to Holder, a couple of home runs. And here's Gomez. Cut and a miss at the opening fastball, strike 1. Adames will be next, and then Adam Moore, the catcher, due up. On a strike as Gomez shortened on the bat.
Yeah, and Duhar there to shake hands with him before retreating back to third. He was well on his way.
Miss. 3 pitches and Gomez is out of there. Manager, dream team, and franchise mode. Plus get weekly stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. It's really Adames. Is down and away. The lefty Jason Shreve up in the bullpen for New York. The middle, but right there Torres keeps it in front of him and makes the play. 2 gone. Been one of those days with a lot of youngsters in the ballpark, so we've had a little constant noise here The youngsters carrying those boomsticks with them.
A little bit of a buzz all afternoon. A lot of people here this afternoon, and you're right, a ton of kids. Park and Recreation Day.
Great fan, 86 years young. Great baseball fan, Etta Russo, watching today in Melbourne. Lifelong baseball fan. Son Dan, part of the Tropicana Field crew. Swing and a miss by Moore. This game can keep you young and sometimes can age you a little bit.
Oh boy, isn't that the truth? No, it's a kid's game. There's no doubt about that. I mean, just go down into any of your clubhouses and the hijinks that go on. All the hours spent together day in and day out from early February.
Can you imagine going through a season without all that?
No. I mean, you've got to keep things light. You've got to be able to have fun and laugh. There's a ton of pressure that goes with the game that these guys play. All the scrutiny, especially nowadays when you include social media and stuff that I never had to deal with when I was playing. And so there's a lot of pressure, and so you need to have your light moments. And that's what happens most of the time out of the camera eye. Sometimes you'll catch a little bit.
2-2 here on Adam Moore. It was his base hit that started the 3-run sixth for the Rays. Moore, veteran catcher, originally drafted by the Seattle organization out of the University of Texas at Arlington. Spent some time in Nebraska, then UTA, was a Maverick in Arlington. And he's out on strikes. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays, and the 7th. On to the 8th, 3-1. Alvarado back to the hill. T-Mobile, built for baseball. Well, the Rays getting a couple blasts in the 6th inning. A 2-run shot from Kevin Kiermaier. And the 20th home run of the year off the bat of C.J. Cron.
Well, that just shows you how quickly a game can turn. I mean, Luis Cessa was in complete control. Leadoff single, a changeup out over the plate. Rays had the lead. C.J. Cron off Holder is going to get the fortunate bounce out there deep into center field. And now you got a 2-run lead. Alvarado back to the mound. 6 outs to get.
Well, top of the order. Brett Gardner here to open the 8th. Judge next, and then Gregorius. So the Rays bullpen is going to have to wade through the dangerous part of this lineup. Pitch inside to Gardner. Gardner is But a fly ball to center is struck out swinging. Fouled out to third his last time up. Two and 0. Sergio Romo up in the bullpen for the Rays as the 8th inning begins. Wow. 2-1. Wide. 97 off the plate. 3-1.
Almost looked like those last two pitches had a little cut to it. You're so used to seeing Alvarado and that arm side movement. That pitch kind of driven, staying a little bit more true, but almost appearing to cut a little.
Way up with that one, and he gives up a walk. The Yankees put the leadoff man aboard. Only the second time the leadoff man has reached for the Yankees today. The other time was when Torres walked in the second, and that led to a run.
Yeah, the leadoff men aboard, always trouble. Leadoff walks. Those have a tendency to come back and haunt you too. This is not the part of the lineup you want to be messing around. Number one, with walks. Number two, to lead off an inning. So you got to go to work now.
Aaron Judge. There's a single that came in the first. He is 1 for 3. Alvarado upstairs, and Moore is going to head to the mound, and so will Kyle Snyder.
I'm going to try to get him back on track, as we've seen some of those pitches missing arm side and up, and then some appearing to cut. Interesting inning so far.
So they'll talk it over on the mound. We'll remind you, if Rays pitchers strike out 10 hitters in a game, visit CanesStrikeout.com for a printed home voucher to take to Canes Furniture within 7 days and receive a coupon for 2 free tacos and chips at participating area Tijuana Flats locations. Restrictions apply. Runner at first is Brett Gardner. Aaron Judge with a count of 1-0 at the plate. 4 of the 5 pitches delivered by Alvarado have been off the mark here to begin the 8th. Now he finds the strike zone on the outside edge. Strike 2 out there again on the corner. He's gone from missing 4 out of 5 to making 2 very good pitches right there on the corner end.
And you see where Moore was set up, middle of the plate. I think Kyle Snyder, that was the message. You've got so much movement. You know, maybe catch more of the plate and let that thing rip. Not going to end up down the middle.
A popper on the infield. Robertson is there to make the catch.
Pretty good visit by Kyle Snyder.
Big out there to get Judge. Hitter's going to be Didi Gregorius. Ground ball, and it's going to go past Bowers into right. Gardner's going to head to third. The throw back to the middle of the infield, cut off. Gardner at third, Gregorius at first. First and third with one out.
Well, Gregorius not wanting to get deep here with Alvarado. Goes after that first fastball that he sees. Inner half and down. Boy, he rockets it. Jake Bowers just a little bit too tight towards home plate. Nice dive, but can't get there. And Yankees runners on the corners.
Well, Stanton is due up. Kevin Cash heads to the mound. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Game presented by W.B. Mason. Rich and Orestes anchoring the coverage. We'll hear from Kevin Cash in the manager's press conference and updates from the Rays farm system. Sergio Romo, pitcher number 5 for the Rays. First and third for New York, one out, and the hitter is Giancarlo Stanton. 48th appearance for Romo. Warriors, that hard hit single at first. Gardner, who had walked, went to third on that base hit. Into the series, Stanton 2 of 7 in his career against Romo. That one breaking away from him. Strike one.
With Sergio Romo, it's all about executing these pitches. You keep it down in a way, you give yourself a chance. You saw how Stanton pulled off that breaking ball, ended up missing it by plenty. But that's going to be the key. I mean, really get good reach, whether it's with the fastball or the breaking ball.
And he's missing this one. Same thing, 0-2.
Yeah, and Romo's smart enough to realize that. It's just a matter of getting it done with the execution. So you've really got to hold on to this ball just a hair longer. Take it right off the plate, especially now that you're up 0-2. You've got some room to maneuver here, maneuver away from it.
And a great stop there by Moore. He took it wider.
Yeah, almost too wide. And you're right about Moore. Think about that ball gets by him. Gardner's going to score. Runner moves up. Gregorius to second. This could have been a real bad break for the Rays, but he gets out and smothers it well.
First again. Romo ahead of Stanton, 1-2. Again over to first. Gregorius easily back to the bag. This pitch skied to center. Kiermaier coming in. He will make the catch. The tag. Gardner heads to the plate. The throw back into second. And so it's a one-run ball game, 3-2.
And I really think that you've got to tip your hat to the restraint shown by Kevin Kiermaier, because you know the way that he's set up behind that fly ball was not deep into center field, that he wanted to air that to home plate and try to get Gardner. You do that, though, Gregorius moves into scoring position, so he holds off.
It's a 3-2 ball game now. Here's Torres, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Caught the outside edge of the plate. So Gregorius at first with 2 outs in a one-run game. Cutting the miss, and you think now how big the home run by Crone that hit off the top of the wall and deflected over the wall. That's the difference in this game. Oh-2 upstairs, close around that zone, but up. Gregorius, the base runner. Well, the leadoff walk has led to a run. Second time that's happened in this game. Again to first. How about that? The Rays staff has walked only 2 men all day. 2 leadoff walks, and the Yankees have cashiered them for runs. Wide. Now 2-2 on Torres. In fact, those 2 walks, the only 2 walks of the game. The Yankee pitchers have not given up any walks. 2-2, and he refrains on the breaking ball wide.
Wow, that was a good take there, because Romo tried to start that one a little bit further in and take a little bit off, and most of the time you're going to get that hitter to go chase it. He starts that ball in off the plate. Look how far he breaks it, and look at the take there by Torres.
3-2, runner will be going. There he goes, and a foul ball. We'll do all of that again.
Now, the one situation that you'd like to avoid is this right here. You get to a full count and Gregorius off and running. If a ball happens to find a gap, that's where you get yourself into some trouble. But this has been a well fought at bat by Torres so far.
3-2 again, and a foul ball again. Big swing by Torres. Out on strikes. Romo gets him to leave a man at first. We're going to head into the bottom of the 8th. Yankees score a run, and the Rays hang on to this 3-2 lead. Top of the order, Kevin Kiermaier to lead it off. Our cricket smile of the game takes us back to the 6th inning with a man on and nobody out. And Kevin Kiermaier connected for his 3rd home run of the year. He gave the Rays a 2-1 lead at the top. Rays now lead 3-2 as we go to the home half of the 8th. Dylan Betances out there with Kiermaier leading it off and swinging through the first pitch. Fastball up at 96, strike 1.
The Yankees trying to stay here within striking distance. That 1 run with all the power they've got, so they bring in Betances to try to lock down the Rays in the 8th.
2.
Big time fastball. A very good breaking ball. Long, tall, great reach out there on the mound, like he's coming right down on top of you.
And strike 3 called, 98, and Kiermaier's out on strikes.
You think the way that he drives the ball downhill and with his reach, it's like he's handing the ball to Higashioka, and right down the middle he did at 98 miles an hour.
Matt Duffy. Breaks in there for a strike. Wide. 1-1. Worked an inning, picked up a couple strikeouts. Enhances the 4th New York pitcher of the game. Takes it to 2-2. Jake Bauers on deck. Full count. Duffy 0 for 2 in his career, has drawn a walk. against Betances. And hits it on the ground out to Torres at second with the toss to first. Strikeout and a ground out. 2 up and 2 down. Base is empty for Jake Bauers. And go for 3. A couple strikeouts, hit the ball into the shift on the right side in the 4th. Shift the infield again here in the 8th for him. There's a line drive and a base hit. On the first pitch, a fastball. He lines it into right. And that will get C.J. Cron up there. Bauers wasn't waiting around for the breaking stuff. He got a fastball, put a swing on it, and has a base hit.
Smart approach. And, you know, that's the thing with Betances. As good as the fastball is, you will see him from time to time go breaking ball heavy. You saw that with Duffy.
Well, C.J. Cron. Cron with a home run. That's the difference in this game right now. The home run he hit in the 6th. There goes Bauers. And the throw down is not in time. In head first with a stolen base. Bauers steals his way into scoring position.
And we have seen Betances victimized by the stolen base. Teams have been able to take advantage of that long time before he gets the ball going towards home plate. And so as quick as Higashioka was on the throwdown, Bauers able to get in there.
Strike the count on Cron. Just a piece of that corner. 0-2.
It ends up becoming a real big 2-out base hit by Bauers. You're able to steal that bag off of Betances, and now all of a sudden dribble something through, and you get that insurance run.
Close. Ball 2 strikes. Bottom of the 8th in a 3-2 game. Stays alive.
Now you think about
Foul
this.
ball.
You think about this coming in, Dwayne. Just over 42 innings of work for Betances. He's now given up 12 stolen bases.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you take that out over a full season as a starter, and you're giving up 40 or 50 stolen bases. That's a ton. But that's the rate that they're getting them.
And a cut and a miss. 100 on the fastball. So Cron is out on strikes. Bird and Duhar and Hicks due up in the 9th. Rays lead 3-2. game moves into the 9th inning with the Rays leading 3-2. Johnny Venters will get the call from the Rays bullpen, and the Rays make some defensive changes as well. Sergio Romo is on the left side of the infield. Romo playing third right now, but he's going to replace Adames, so he'll go into the 8th spot in the order. And the Rays will keep Romo
right there. There's Duffy. You got Robertson.
And the first pitch to Bird from Venters is a strike. So they have the shift on. And that's a strike.
And we've already seen Bird push a bunt for a base hit to the left side.
Yep.
You force Romo to make a play. Not going to do it now in 0-2. And they moved Romo back over tight short.
Down and away.
How about this move?
Yep.
1-run ball game.
How about it? Have the shift on with Duffy and Robertson and Bowers on the right side. Romo on the left side defensively. The ground ball to the right side. They're going to get the first out. Bird is out number 1. And now out comes Kevin Cash.
Now, do you move Venters? You can move him to a.
You could. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, well, because you've got Andujar, and then you've got Hicks, the switch hitter. So maybe you want to keep him to the right side. Put Venters in a position. Romo's going to come in to face Andujar. No, Venters is done.
Yeah, Venters is going to depart. So he faces one man. Echeverria is going to enter the game. So they have Echeverria now coming off the Rays bench. So Romo, who had gone from pitching to get out of the 8th inning, starting the 9th inning at third. Now he's back on the mound. Venters departs. And Echeverria joins the infield.
It's never boring around here.
Never boring. No, there's a variation on every theme that you can imagine.
Yeah.
So Romo getting a few warm-up tosses again after playing third. And Miguel Andujar will be the hitter. So Romo already with 2/3 of an inning under his belt on the mound.
Well, he got his hold out of the way. Now he's looking for the save.
How about that? And the pitch is inside. 1-0. This could be baseball history if he finishes this thing off. You got to give him a hold, and then you got to give him a save. I mean, how could a guy?
He was interrupted by Venters.
That's right.
Straight through.
Venters won't get a hold.
Right.
All right.
You got to give the guy before him one.
Yeah. I mean, you can't give the guy before him a save. The guy gets a hold. The guy who preceded him can't get a save.
Right.
You got to give him a hold. So the guy after him, if he does the job, will get a save. There's strike 2. 1-2.
The war room right now is just chuckling.
Yes.
Just chuckling and laughing.
That's right.
Provided
So
you get the next 2 outs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the big proviso right there.
Yes.
1-2 the count. Popped up right side. That's going to carry out a play. So Echeverria is now at short. Back at third, Duffy and Robertson on the shortstop side of second. So they have the shift on for Andujar. And a little tapper, tough play. Romo gloved it, but could not make a throw. And Duhar with a little tap, an infield hit.
And how about that? We talked about him as part of the scouting report. 2 a day, another 2 hits his last 2 at bats. This one not hit hard, but did he place it well? A swinging bunt. And Romo, the only one that's going to get there, but you're not going to be able to get up and make a throw and a play on Andujar.
Now Aaron Hicks steps in. Hicks entered as a pinch hitter in the DH spot. First pitch is a strike. Well, each team with 7 hits now. It's down and in. It's 1-1. Yankees have Chapman up in the bullpen down the left field line. Over to first, and Duhar back in. Rays have used Stanek, Schultz, Castillo, Alvarado, Romo, Venters, and then back to Romo. Had a little hiatus over at third. One. Foul back. It's 1-2. Duffy alone on the left side of the infield with Echeverria first base side of second. And a ground ball. Robertson and to second, the ball loose. And Echeverria quickly comes up with it. And the Yankees get a gift right there. Andujar safely in at second. And Hicks aboard at first.
Boy, this looked like it could have been a game-ending double play. Right here to Robertson, spin, opens, throws. And just off the end of the glove of Matt Duffy. Looked like a pretty good feed. But as he's getting his feet set.
And Duffy will get the error.
You got to remember too, Matt Duffy for the most part, has been a third baseman all season, and you could see his eyes following him to first base before that ball was in the glove.
And now Romine will pinch hit with men at first and second and 1 out. Pitch is wide. Austin Romine drove in a couple runs in last night's game with a ground ball and a fly ball. Pitch is outside. It's 2-0.
I think early on in this at bat, the approach of Romine is, if I recognize breaking ball, I'm going to take it, because he's not kept one on the plate yet. Guys have been chasing it off the edge.
How about this with men in scoring position for Romine, who's been the backup catcher. 324.
His short bench today for Aaron Boone. Only a couple of guys on there. Hicks he's already used. Drury, of course, he got hit in the hand yesterday. He's probably not available, so you're down to Romine.
That's a strike. 1-1.
That was the idea. If we're going to go with the breaking ball, I've got to keep it on the plate. So he starts it in. Breaks it right to the middle.
Two men on with one away. Top of the ninth, 1-run game. Romine pops it up. Foul ball right side. Bauer's after it. Makes a sliding catch. The ball popped away, but he was taking the ball out of the glove. Angel Hernandez on the call. And Romine fouls out as a pinch hitter. 2 gone.
Jake Bauer's tracking, sliding, and catching. That ball clearly secure.
Well, now with 2 outs and runners at first and second, the hitter will be Gardner, and he's always tough. Gardner walked and scored in the 8th. And swings and misses, strike 1. Gardner came into the series 1 of 3 in his career against Sergio Romo. Two men on with 2 men out in a 3-2 ball game. Romo protecting this slim lead. And Duhar is the runner at second. Hicks the runner at first. And that pitch just a little bit low. It's 1-1. Another one of these 1-run games for the Rays. One pitch. That's a strike. It's 1-2.
Boy, close with the fastball. Brett Gardner thinking that that is just off the plate, but it is close enough. That's that big swing too, from 1-1 to 1-2.
To delivery inside. What a save. Boy, we've seen more on a couple of occasions. Make some great plays back there. He saved that pitch.
Looks like a goalie at times.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Romo's pitch, and we're going to go all the way to 3-2, and he just barely missed that pitch. Oh, how close that was to a strike.
And the breaking ball kind of wrapping it back in at the bottom of the zone. How in the world does Brett Gardner not go after that?
Runners will go 3-2 and a ground ball foul. Romo will get a new baseball. And Duhar back to second. Hicks back to first. Romo in effect trying to get the 4th out of the inning. They're giving the Yankees an extra opportunity. for the second time. 3-2 pitch on its way. He got it! A swing and a miss, and the Rays win this one. Gardner out on strikes. Romo closes it out, and boy, what a finish on this one. Rays win it 3-2. New York leaving 2 men aboard in the ninth. 3-7-1 for the Rays with 4 left. 2-7-0. 8 left for New York. How about that for a finish, folks? Our Coors Light refreshing finish, and here it is.
Well, he went back and forth with him. Previous pitch was a breaking ball in that he hooked foul. Now he comes away with the fastball, and you get him to commit off the plate, and that's going to end the ball game.
Castillo the winner. Romo picks up the save for Brian Anderson and Michelle Margot. Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. 3-2 the final. Rays Live, the postgame, comes your way next.